Thank you, Madam Chair. During the first 11 months of 2022, more than 25% of Southwest flights either arrived late or were canceled, Southwest's worst performance since 2014. Southwest pilots have been sounding the alarm about these operational issues for years, yet these warnings were apparently summarily ignored. Mr. Watterson, did the Southwest Airline Pilots Association warn Southwest about the issues that led to the meltdown? Yes or no?
Thank you, Senator. They warned us about some of the issues that were part of the meltdown.
Okay, and why didn't you do anything about it?
Thank you, Senator. We were addressing part of those issues. Obviously, it was unsuccessful, but with regard to some of the crew scheduling, we had invested in those areas.
Well, again, because you did not listen to those warnings, catastrophic conditions were created for passengers by the hundreds of thousands all across our country. That is absolutely unacceptable. You were warned. That mismanagement absolutely led to real pain, real harm for families. In response to what happened, Senator Blumenthal and I called on Southwest to provide a cash hardship payment beyond refunds and reimbursements to help compensate for passengers suffering. Instead, Southwest gave each passenger frequent flyer miles. Mr. Watterson, will Southwest commit to providing customers with a cash hardship payment instead of frequent flyer points if passengers desire that?
Thank you, Senator. We believe being generous with the reimbursements and giving frequent flyer points is a preferable way to compensate our customers.
Well, unfortunately for those customers, those points are little consolation for passengers like Christine Pastor and her husband, who were unable to visit their sick daughter at the hospital on her birthday over the holidays because of Southwest cancellations. Mr. Watterson, if an impacted passenger refuses to fly Southwest again, will Southwest commit to providing the passenger with a cash payment instead of the frequent flyer points? Yes or no?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I think we have plenty of opportunities for them to fly us. If they choose to fly somebody else, certainly their choice.
It is their choice. Would you give them a cash payment in order for them to fly on another carrier rather than Southwest?
No, Senator, we will not pay them cash to pay another airline unless it's for reimbursement of a flight they took in the disruption.
And again, that just misses the whole point about the customers, how they were inconvenienced, and how they need to be compensated with cash. It's deeply disappointing to us for many passengers. The point system that you want to use is just going to be useless. It's nothing but an empty gesture. And I will say that 14 of the senators wrote you a letter asking you to answer questions on this and get the answers back by February 2nd. It's now February 9th. Obviously, your answers could have helped us to prepare for this hearing, and it's unacceptable that Southwest did not respond to the Congress in time so that we could be fully prepared for this hearing. Ms. Pinkerton, in your testimony, you write that 66% of flight cancellations between January and November last year were caused by weather or the national aviation system. Here's another way to look at that data. More than 1/3 of cancellations were the airline's own fault, such as maintenance or staffing issues. Ms. Pinkerton, what percentage of flights were canceled in 2019 due to the airline's own operational problems?
Senator, I don't have that data at my fingertips, but what I did earlier was say that we take responsibility when cancellations are within our control. We acted very quickly in 2022. We did two things. We reduced our schedule by 50%, and we went on a hiring binge. We hired 50,000 people in 2022.
All right, well, the answer is 28%, far less than the 35% last year that is due to the airline's own operational problems. And in 2018, it was under 25%. And in 2017, that figure was below 23%. So again, this number just keeps rising year after year. There is a serious problem. In total, the airlines caused 53,000 cancellations in the first 11 months of 2022, more than double than before the pandemic. Airlines also caused over 33 million minutes in flight delays during that period, up 65% over pre-pandemic figures. That data tells a clear and obvious story. Airlines failed travelers last year over and over. Passengers missed birthdays and weddings, and Congress needs to put guardrails on the industry to stop this putting of profits over people. And we also need to pass My Fair Fees Act so airlines stop nickel and diming customers for basic airline services, including My Families Fly Together Act, which I'm reintroducing again today to prevent airlines from charging fees just so a mom can sit with a 5-year-old daughter on a plane.
Senator.
It is absolutely unacceptable that airlines charge for that service.
I have to make clear, none of the A4A carriers charge a family seating fee. There are a couple of carriers that do, but that's not targeted at us. But I also want to say, just on the whole ancillary fee issue, because I know it's a passion of yours, I wanted you to know ancillary fees have actually been reduced over the last several years. In fact, change fees are now a third of what they used to be.
Okay, so
lower
Ms. Pinkerton,
overall.
we have to get on to other people. This is an important issue, and I guarantee you we'll get into a much heavier debate, but accountability isn't re-regulation, and I think we'll have a lot of conversation about how to grow the airline industry and how to protect consumers. So,
Can I just say 10 seconds? 10 seconds. It's, customers just feel like they're shaken upside down at the counter for all these additional charge fees. It just has to end.
thank you.